Hello, Norwalk High School community. This year, an exciting change to our school is that we now participate in a program called Verizon Innovative Learning Schools. It's a grant-funded program that does a lot to provide more opportunities for technology integration and future-ready digital learning skills for both our teachers and our students. And I'd like to take a few minutes in this video to better introduce myself, my role in the program, but to also tell you more about the program itself. My name is Dr. Dan Kreiness, and I'm a Norwalk Public Schools employee, and my title is Instructional Coach for Digital Learning. But I also serve as this school's VILS Coach, or Verizon Innovative Learning Schools Coach, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in a couple of minutes. But just to explain a little bit more about me and my role here in the school, I wanted to let you know that it's my job to help coach teachers to provide training and job-embedded professional development on technology and digital learning in the classroom that will help prepare students to be more future ready when they leave our school and enter the working world or the college education that they're looking to go to beyond when they graduate from Norwalk High. As well as that, I support opportunities for digital learning that aligns with the district's goals as they've outlined in their new Portrait of a Graduate. Those are skills that the district says are vital for students who are graduating from our schools to be able to have now, but ultimately and more importantly, be able to take with them in the future. In addition, sometimes I get to work with students. I encourage the responsible use of technology, as well as sometimes getting to show students how to better use digital platforms and digital tools to gain the skills that they require, as well as to accomplish some of the goals that their classroom teachers are setting out for them in their work and their assignments as well. And finally, part of the job is to help lead a student tech team. Here at Norwalk High School, as well as P-Tech, we have an IT club that is really advised by our IT technician. I help oversee that student organization to make sure that they are the ones who are able to represent the student body in aspects of the VILS program, especially when it comes to the repair process for the Chromebooks. Now, let's dive a little bit deeper into what the VILS program is. You've heard me mention VILS a few times, and the reason I'm saying VILS is because that stands for the letters VILS, or in other words, Verizon Innovative Learning Schools. That's a grant program that is funded by Verizon, and it's supported by and led by an organization known as Digital Promise, who works more closely with the schools, me, the administrators, and the teachers to help us grow and develop in the areas of technology integration and digital learning. One of the biggest goals of the VILS program is the idea of consistent access. In other words, they really value the opportunity for students to be able to connect to the internet wherever they are. If they're in school, they're able to connect. But we also want them to be able to connect outside of school as well. At home or at work or wherever they might be, Verizon provides Chromebooks for all of our students and staff so that not only will they be able to connect while they're at work or school, but even when they're not. All of these Chromebooks come enabled to connect to Wi-Fi networks, but they also have what are known as SIM cards that make them available on the Verizon network. Think of them as giant cell phones. These Chromebooks, when they're off of a wireless network at school or at home, can still connect to the internet wherever there's Verizon cellular data. So wherever someone can get Verizon cell phone service, a student or a teacher can use these Chromebooks to be able to connect to the internet as well. And finally, A really vital piece of the VILS program is not only providing those devices to schools, to staff, and to students, but to provide professional development for the staff. In other words, they work with me and I work with the staff to provide training opportunities so that our teachers are also better equipped for the skills that they need to now teach students who are being asked to come away with skills and be prepared with skills that they will need for their futures as technology advances and the world around us just gets so much more modern every single day and every single year. Now I'd like to talk about information that's really important for our students, and that is Chromebook responsibility. As I've already said, all of our students and staff are provided Chromebooks by the Verizon grant program. Each of these Chromebooks comes with that data plan, like I said, which actually makes them a little bit more robust and a little bit more expensive than a Chromebook would normally be. And that's why it's really important to take good care of the Chromebook. As I like to tell students, Chromebooks are school property, not your personal property. When you're issued a Chromebook, we call it your Chromebook because that's the one that's assigned to you. But it actually doesn't belong to you, it belongs to the school. And I think that's important to remember because there are a few things that I would like for you not to do with your new Verizon Chromebook. First, please don't damage them intentionally. There are some very fragile pieces to the Chromebook, such as the touch screen, the keys on the keyboard, and the plastic components that surround the screen and the keyboard as well. Sometimes, if you're not careful, unintentionally, these components of the Chromebook hardware can actually break more easily than you think they will. So, in order to help us avoid that, you need to keep the case on your Chromebook. Here's an example of one of the Verizon Chromebooks, and it's pretty easy to recognize because it says Verizon Innovative Learning right here on the case. Sorry, it was upside down at first. Each Chromebook, when they were issued to students and staff, already come with a very secure, what we call clamshell case on the Chromebook already, with some flexible plastic or rubbery material to help protect the Chromebook from drops and bounces, and to really help maintain the quality of the Chromebook, and so as to avoid that kind of damage. You need to keep your case on your Chromebook for two reasons. One, I just mentioned, it helps avoid damage, but the other thing is, if your Chromebook were to sustain damage at any point, it will not be able to be repaired if it doesn't have the Chromebook case on it. If we go to send a Chromebook out to the repair company who does the repairs when there's damage, they will not accept it if it does not have the case on it. So students, you really need to keep your Chromebook case on the device at all times. While I'm talking about the case, you also need to keep the case free from stickers or sticky substances or anything else that you might feel tempted to put on here to either customize it and personalize it, as well as just avoiding liquids and sticky substances that may actually do more harm than good to the actual device. And I guess that leads me into my final piece here about Chromebook responsibility. As I said, you are to avoid damaging the device intentionally, but we do understand that sometimes accidents happen, or sometimes manufacturer's defects can happen with these devices as well. If an accident happens or there's a defect, there is a repair process in place that will likely cover the costs of the repairs that are necessary to the device. However, there are exceptions. If students are found to be destroying or damaging the Chromebooks intentionally, or that there is damage that's done to the Chromebook that doesn't seem like it was just a defect of the machine or something that happened unintentionally, there could be cases where students and their families owe money and are issued obligations to actually pay for the damage. We take those on a case-by-case basis, but just for example, some of the damage that we've seen in the past range from keys that are taken off the keyboard, replacing the entire keyboard itself, replacing the screen, or even having to replace an entire Chromebook if it's lost. Which also leads me into my final important information piece to students. Please remember that we're looking for you to be good digital citizens and to practice digital wellness. And that means when it comes to taking care of your Chromebook that you want to keep in mind a couple of things. First off, you should never give your password to any other student, no matter how close to you they might be. Also, you are the only student who should be using your Chromebook, the one that's assigned to you. And we know it's assigned to you because your name is on a sticker, on a label that's on the bottom of the Chromebook. Please don't give other students your password, and please don't let other students use your device. I want to finish with some important information that's specific to parents and guardians of students here at Norwalk High School. As it relates to the Chromebook, you should know that there is an agreement form that needs to be filled out when students receive their new Chromebooks. It's called an MOU, and that stands for Memorandum of Understanding. It's a legally binding document that enters you and your student into an agreement with Verizon that says that you're going to be responsible for the Chromebook. More specifically, it has you agree that the student will not exceed the data limitations on the data plan that's on the Chromebook, which means that they can't go over 30 gigabytes of data on the Chromebook per month, which is a lot, and most of our students never get there, but it just means don't go too far over the limit of data plan that's on the Chromebook already. And finally, as parents, in addition to helping your students care for their devices, as I've already mentioned to them, the biggest thing you could probably do to help them is to make sure they're charging them at home each day. These Chromebooks are enabled with batteries that will last all day, but it's very difficult for teachers to teach in the classroom with these Chromebooks if students are showing up with them on drained batteries or dead altogether. So, as a parent, we urge you to please remind your students, maybe after dinner at night or before they go to bed at night, to make sure that they plug in their Chromebook so that they can show up to school the next day with a fully charged battery that will last the entire day. Please help get them into the routine of making sure to keep their charger at home, and again, to plug in the device and charge it every day so that they can come prepared with a fully charged Chromebook the next day. Thank you so much for watching this introduction video on me and the VILS program and its implementation here at Norwalk High School. It really is a very exciting program that we're so proud to now have in our school. If a student or parent or guardian has any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the school or to me directly to ask. Thanks again, and we hope you have a great school year.